coming up. Which third does he take, and how does he set that up?
Yeah, this map, if we can just kind of highlight the architecture of this map for a second, it is a map that is very easy to just expand on, to turtle, to defend, and to go into the late game. So we tend to see some of the longest StarCraft 2 games on this map.
And what's interesting about it is that, like you say, with that turtling, Terran gets up to 4 bases pretty easily, which is very uncommon in Terran vs. Zerg unless it's a really epic game. Normally, when the Terran takes the 4th, it's kind of a formality. The Terran's already won when he's in that position. But here, a Terran who's pretty far behind can still establish a safe 4th.
That's absolutely true. The upper right expansions and bottom left expansions don't normally end up being taken for long periods of time because it's hard to hold them. But regardless, we should be going deep into late game unless one player likes to do something really crazy, which we have seen a lot from Zergs at times.
Definitely.
Because the Terrans getting a little bit too greedy. I don't know if jaedong's going to do it this time. Reaper play here from Maru, and this is a smart move because he can take out the Zerglings that are on the field. He can harass, he can scout, and this is going to allow Maru, unless he loses this Reaper, to know exactly what's going on at any point in time, and he can just counter that, get into a healthy position, and then get to where he wants to be, which is where he can have all those Marine engagements.
Well, jaedong doing the smart thing, doing the build, and then canceling a little bit on the Geyser. Always a very strong play, keeping the drones alive as long as possible. And this is just one Reaper that's killed 2 Lings, and now, ooh, a drone. That's actually a very nice game by Maru.
And then we have one Reaper here to defend. Now, Maru needs to actually be careful.
Oh, no. Oh, Maru.
That screen.
Oh, my God.
That screen can't be 2 places at once. That's why you got to be fast in StarCraft. He took out the Reaper. Now the SCV can't finish the command center. That was a very quick little mistake that actually has a huge impact right now because the longer that command center is not done, is he going to get this SCV? He's actually zoning out the SCV with the Lings right now, so it can't get back to the command center.
Oh, Nick, that was 30 seconds, almost 45 seconds. That's 2 SCVs that Maru's never going to be able to build. That's a late orbital command, and that's going to botch the flood of barracks timing. We see the Zerglings there doing a little scouting. I do want to come back to that barracks timing note because, losing money and getting delay, that's just sort of amorphously bad. But why? The Terran player needs a lot of money to throw down 4 barracks and go into big Marine production.
Right.
Because of that delay, it's going to be at about another minute before the Terran can get powered up. And that means the push is going to come out late. jaedong's Mutalisks are going to be able to push Maru back longer. So now Maru, the pressure's on him. He's got to work super hard to batter jaedong back with these Hellions.
Yeah, he needs to do something to kind of regain control here. He does have the Reaper and the 2 Hellions, as you said. It's going to be tricky, though. The Lings now with speed, he might be able to pin them against the wall. He does.
What a micro move there by Maru.
Yeah, that was nice, actually splitting them off, too. He had the Reaper go one direction, the Hellions go the other. And now he does get out. If he had gotten cornered there, that would have been a disaster.
Now, what is the answer from Maru? Well, it looks like he's saying, if you've delayed my barracks, I'm just going to accept that. He's building so many Hellions. Normally you stop at 4 to 6 in that range. He's built all the way up to 7. And is going to, looks like being quite aggressive coming up.
Okay, the Hellions are moving out again here, actually splitting up. And the Overlord placement here by jaedong, if we could just get a shot of that. Look how he's spreading the Overlords out on this corner area of the map. And actually, for instance, hugging them over these big cavities where the Marines can't get under. He wants to make absolutely sure that he's going to see every single drop that's going to come in here.
I think Maru doesn't realize that there's Lings counterattacking up into the main base, and they're just going to waltz straight up to the high ground. Oh, no. But still, the natural expansion is under threat. jaedong loves these counterattacks with small, basic units thus far. Only 3 SCVs have been killed off, but the Marines don't manage to make it back.
His Ling zoning is so sick, he just blocked that off.
Right.
From Marines from getting inside that bunker. So there's more Lings parked outside here.
Oh my God, jaedong isn't teching. He's just built.
Wait. He got spotted. And he needs to get these Lings out of here. And yeah, he is just continuing to make Lings. He might try to do a bust here.
Don't do it, Maru. Maru's about to get surrounded.
It's going to be, he might be able to trap these Hellions. These Hellions are way out of position.
Does he know? It looks like jaedong is just,
oh my God. Oh my God.
And the barracks flood is late due to the delay.
The Hellions are coming back.
They're coming back.
I don't know if they're going to get there in time.
Oh, but jaedong rides out to meet them. Doesn't matter how good your kiting is, the Ling numbers are just a little bit too big. And here comes jaedong streaming in with banelings. Maru's control, sickeningly good, but the numbers are just too big.
And here come the banelings now, barreling towards the entrance. jaedong does not want this to go to the late game.
Unbelievable reads. jaedong storms the front. The reactors fall. And it looks like the Marines stim. There's not enough. jaedong, will he get a clean 2-0? Maru's control is his only hope now.
Maru in a lot of trouble. The Zerg army can park over the production facilities, which means anything that spawns out of there insta-dies. And I think we are probably going to see Maru tap out momentarily here and push us into game number 3. It is physically impossible to recover.
Moving in, connecting with anything, it doesn't even matter. The entire army, 1 medevac, 3 Marines, and a pair of Hellions.
Lings, they don't even have to get a good angle here. He's actually morphing banelings literally next to the barracks.
Oh, there the banelings roll up to the top. See you later, remaining
Maru is at 12 supply now.
GG! Undefeated thus far in the Zerg vs. Terran matchup at this tournament. 3-0 against MVP, 2-0 against Maru, 1 game away from his 5th major finals appearance in 2013.
What's up with jaedong, man? This guy's like in a hurry to finish up this tournament win. It's like he's got to catch a movie later tonight. I can't believe how brutal these games are. I actually thought this was going to be much closer. We're going to go into game number 3 here, but Maru has been rocked so far.
And you know, we talked about this at the very start of the series. The key map is map 3 in this series. Belshir Vestige. jaedong struggles on this map. It's tighter. There's not as many counterattack paths. Terran's attacks are very easy to zone mute as Lings, banelings alike. So Maru needs a win on this map, but the pressure's on. He's lost to Big Bus, which is Ling Baneling, 2 games in a row now.
I wonder if he's going to go for a similar build to the last game again. He is really in control of, like, even into the first 2 minutes of the game, jaedong's already, roughing up Maru here. He's not even letting Maru get to the part of the game that Maru's good at.
Yeah, that's such a great point. Maru's biggest strength is Marine Marauder control, and we've just never.
jaedong's like, well, I just won't let him make Marines then, and he wins the game.
What a play.
What a play, jaedong.
What a move.
All right, we're going to go into game number 3 now. Can Maru turn this around? Or is jaedong, a legend, old school here in Brood War, going to get that much closer to being crowned the best StarCraft 2 player in 2013?
In his last series against Deer in Game 5, when it began, he said that he felt like he'd already won. And when jaedong feels a win on his hands, there's almost nothing that can stop him. Can Maru avoid defeat in this game, bring it to just another 1, and have 1 more shot to get to Game 5? He can't lose focus now. In the bottom right-hand corner, the youngest player in BlizzCon. His hope is nearly gone. If you want to see him stay alive in this series, give a cheer for Maru Prime!
And in the upper left, the undisputed best Zerg in Brood War, now here to become the undisputed best player in the year 2013 in StarCraft 2. Get loud for jaedong!
The number of dongers raised is astounding.
So we do have an early drone scout here. I don't think we're going to see Command Center first from Maru for the rest of the series. I mean, assuming that, let's say Maru keeps on winning, I still don't think he's going to do it. jaedong seems to really be okay with just aggressive play.
And I want to come back to what we saw last game. The delay of that Command Center, the little subtle move sending 4 Lings off. How jaedong's able to exploit that with the follow-up attacks, and the Marine numbers were just not there because of the disruption jaedong caused early. And disruption is what jaedong's game plans always revolve around. Even this little drone It's causing an extra SCV to get pulled off. It's delaying the Reaper just a little bit, and we're seeing jaedong sneak extra drones back home in his main.
You know, jaedong's harass is very Brood War-esque. He's just really good at having one worker inside your base do so much damage, be such a nuisance.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, I think a little bit of a bigger theme in Brood War, but he's kind of brought that here in StarCraft 2, was that, like, the one worker just like really being annoying and harassing and scouting and just interfering with everything you're trying to do.
And it's that exact sort of thing that we see so uncommonly in StarCraft 2. I mean, most of the time it's, you know, again, take 10 paces and then shoot. Players tend to follow along paths.
It's that tacit agreement of, well, I mean, we should probably play into the late game, you know.
Yeah, you know, my death ball versus your death ball Tuesday.
Yeah, I have 1 to 2 cheeses perhaps stored into this best of 5, but so far, jaedong just really aggressive. Now we do have the Reaper build coming again here from maru, which is not really surprising at all. I mean, he really has to figure out exactly what jaedong's doing in this series if he's going to be ahead, and he just goes into command center after that. So this is the quickest way he can expand while still, you know, not taking a huge risk.
Now in this position, we're seeing a much calmer Reaper. It's just going to shoot a larva, okay? It's not going to try to find drones or zerglings. It's not going to try to step into some dangerous micro situation. It's just going to make sure it has a retreat path. And I think that's very wise for maru. He's also gotten the second Reaper and is instead also heading to join up with it. He sees where the lings are.
Well, you know, think about this. I mean, that last Reaper that you lost in game 2, that was when the game started to get out of control.
Yes.
So it definitely wants to be safe this time around. Now, note that jaedong, if we can get a shot of these lings here in the bottom left, just a little bit left here.
In the peninsula between
yeah, it's in between the Zerg second and the Zerg main, and there are lings there. But he wants to see if those that Reaper, when it's coming up in there, if he can actually get them, because that's a really odd position to actually hide them.
Ooh, and I like this play out of maru. This is the sort of play that works very nicely on this map. He's not going to go for an extremely fast third command center, just a fast-ish third command center. And he'll be getting a very quick Viking to kill off overlords, to sweep the map, because we see jaedong already has 2 overlords on that side of the map, and we're seeing a third one head to the right. We're seeing 2 more skirt around the back of jaedong's base. That's 5 potential targets for this Viking. I mean, Polt has used this a ton against jaedong, though, so he has a lot of practice versus it.
Yeah, it's very true. I really like the one Viking in the TVZ, just, yeah, to clean up the map, because I mean, if you have an overlord that's there the entire game spotting, it can completely change everything. We'll see 100% in a little bit here if he's going to actually go for that, but I think it's definitely a good option.
Well, interestingly, he's going for Hellion Banshee. Now, normally I would say, oh yeah, Hellion Banshee, great build, old school, coming back into the new, given how many corners Zergs are cutting lately, but jaedong destroyed MVP when MVP pulled that play up. Just wrecked it and swiftly countered for a fast win. jaedong now getting the 7-minute layer, spreading creep for queen, zergling speed done. I don't think this Hellion Banshee move is really going to do much. He's going to have overseers by the time the cloak's done.
Yeah, you can see he's really picked a very different route than what we're used to. I'm used to seeing him do a lot more Marine harass here. But yeah, he's going to go for this Hellion Banshee, see if he can't do some damage. I'm curious if maru's picked this build that he's doing on this map based off what he experienced in the last 2 games, or if this is a pre-scripted build.
I genuinely wonder that as well. I mean, I think that this is probably a little of both. This obviously is a build order you can do lots and lots and lots without much of a problem, but it's also very safe. No cheese is going to be able to deal with the Banshee. And oh no, jaedong sweeping into the front. Oh, boom!
Almost got in there.
Great reaction by maru.
Now the angling here can be pretty good for the Hellions unless they get surrounded like that. Okay, nice. He's going to slip through the minerals. These Hellions can really optimize their damage now.
But jaedong is sweeping in to meet them. He has the Zerglings that were involved in the counterattack coming back. Oh! What are you doing, maru? He is extending himself way too far. He has lost all of his map control.
He lost way too much.
What a disaster for maru.
That was a disaster. He just sped right into him. You know, this Banshee harass has to be backed by, you know, a big swath of Hellions. or it doesn't really have the weight.
Oh yeah, I mean, a Banshee needs things to defend itself, and everything jaedong's doing is brilliant. Look at this, 9-minute double evolution chamber. Why so late? Because he perfectly read the Hellion Banshee and rushed for a quick layer. Soon enough, Mutalisks are going to be out, and there's not even extra barracks done. It's a single barrack. Stim has only just begun, Nick.
Yeah, this is pretty scary. Now, he's going to go for the Evo chamber, but those are obviously not going to be picked off. Now, can he get the drones here? Nice transfuses going down. Actually, that's really good.
No, 12 drones lose their lives. Cloak lands. Jaedong, who was inches away from shutting it out perfectly, suddenly has taken massive losses to his economy.
Yeah, maru beginning to tip the scale here. That was what he wanted to do all along, was just kill a large number of drones to try to set his opponent back. So maru playing very well now.
But mutas are done, and look at this, Nick. Only one barracks still. The Marine count at 3. Just 3 Marines to deal with all the Mutalisks Jaedong's going to be thrown out.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty rough. Looks like the Banshee harass is going to end here.
12 kill Banshee, brutal.
Yeah, really brutal. Now, because he opted to go for the Hellion Banshee combo, his core Terran army, which we would call like just, Marines and medevacs, are going to be later. So that may allow Jaedong to get a 4th base a little bit easier. But in the past few games, we've seen Jaedong really just stick to 3 bases and go for a control-based game where he's just limiting his opponent's options instead of expanding his own.
That's a great way to put it. He wants to cut his opponent down because Jaedong excels in these tense, small unit micro situations, as we've seen with his Zerglings in every one of these games. Now, Maru's doing a very unusual choice, but one of desperation. He's thrown out he has 2 Banshees on the field, and given his previous losses, he's invested heavily into this. He's hoping the Cloaked Banshees can delay. If Jaedong just snipes a single one, all of a sudden Maru is going to be way back on the back foot.
All right.
There it is.
Nice. Mutas coming in there, getting that pick off. Now, Jaedong from StarCraft 1 had just unbelievable Muta micro. And he's definitely brought that over here in StarCraft 2. Now we're going into first-person view here with Maru. And he's going to expand here. Now, people used to play this map as Terran. They would expand to the bottom left corner if you're in Maru's position.
Oh.
Well, hold on. I'll get to that in a second. All right, he does just push him out.
Oh, no.
Now Terrans expand to the center right base. Because that way they can push the Zerg's natural 4th a little bit easier.
Very aggressive way to play, but Nick, I don't know about this. While Maru's doing all of this, he's building add-ons at all of his barracks. That means there is no reinforcement set coming.
Yeah, and all those are reactors. I mean, that takes a long time to make, so it's going to be an even longer time before Marines are out here. This base is pretty exposed. It's not as easy to defend as the bottom left base, but if you take the bottom left base, Zerg then just gets the 4th, and obviously Terran wants to stop that.
Yes.
So what Maru's going to be doing is attacking so that this 3rd base of his is not bothered by Jaedong. But the question is, can he, with his good control, take on Jaedong?
Now here's something crazy. He's sweeping on in. He's going to be able to surround these Hellions, and down they go. The Banshee's going to take a fall too, but the Banelings haven't connected yet with the Marines. The reinforcements for the Marines are nowhere to be found. Where are they? The risk that Maru took to get the add-ons is not paying off. Jaedong is going to break the 3rd.
Yeah, we have some reinforcements coming up here now. Jaedong may regroup and attack in here. No, he's going to go right for it. Doing a ton of damage, just tearing through. Now hitting the workers, forcing the Marines to chase these mutas now. I don't know how much more energy is on those medevacs, but I'm pretty sure that he's probably just going to regroup and attack in here again. And so Maru's going to wall off now this location and go into hardcore defense.
But look at Jaedong swinging lings along the left side. Maru desperately trying to wall off his 3rd base. You normally don't want that walled off. It's way too vulnerable, and more importantly, it cuts down your own ability to attack. But Jaedong, who had only 5 Mutalisks, sees that the Terran's on the defensive, has swelled up to 18, and the counterattacks begin.
Okay, the mutas now can come in here, and this is perfect angling. The ground army is not going to be able to attack as easily, but the mutas can clean up these SCVs. We see now Maru running over here to try to defend these SCVs, with the mutas already escaping. There's a small drop over here. We'll see how quickly Jaedong can deal with this. We do have some more links coming up here now. He will most likely pick up and go into the main from here.
Brilliant sensor tower positioning, and look at Maru. He's been on the ropes this whole game. but he's holding strong. He's powering up 54 Marines on the field, and there ain't a lot of Banelings yet, only 8.
Maru actually has a superior supply to jaedong right now. Now he's spreading out really nicely here so that Banelings, the splash damage can't do as much as, you know, the Zerg would obviously want. Now jaedong did take his 4th at the far left. So what Maru's going to do is try to push into the 3rd. This will be a little bit tricky. Let's see if Maru can do it. jaedong now barreling down.
He's going to try to snipe every medevac that he can, but he realizes that now is not the time. The Zerglings do march deep into the main base of Maru, and some more SCVs are going to lose their lives.
You know, he actually is doing such a good job with dealing with this army. He just ran out with the Banelings. He's using the mutas while Maru's distracted with the Zerglings in the main to just shave off the corners of these spread out Marines. And now jaedong's going to back up again. Supplies dead even in an attack en route.
Oh, the Banelings! What the mines? What were they doing? Taking nap time, not connecting with those Banelings. The Marine count continues to tumble. The Mutalisks are being controlled magnificently. A pair of spine crawlers go down as jaedong really feels the pressure, spiking up at his 3rd.
Okay, another attack coming in here now, and this is a very small Marine ball, but if he can just get into this corner and get that hatchery, jaedong looked like he wanted to go for a counterattack, then changed his mind. Now attacking in here again.
This is Maru's greatest strength, engaging in these angles properly. No more lings, it's mutas.
I think there's just barely enough mutas.
Oh my God, but Maru has done tremendous damage.
Now chasing the rest of this out, the medevacs boost out to escape. More reinforcements coming in here, but you know, the foothold that Maru had outside of jaedong's base is just not there anymore.
Wow, Maru took a seemingly unwinnable situation and has turned it back around. Look at the 4th for jaedong. Hardly anything mining right there. That means there's not really going to be very much gas for more Mutalisks, for more Banelings, all the key units. 25 Zerglings are out, and guess what? No macro hatch. This means that essentially it's only a matter of time. As long as Maru's able to control his units perfectly, he's pumping out the perfect biomine mixture.
He's going to try to move in here again as scan, but doesn't really reveal that much. Most of those units were outside of the scan, those Banelings morphing in here. And I believe we have a counterattack down here at the bottom. So Muta's actually just trying to get this Marine army to slow down. Now, again, Maru is in a supply lead. So jaedong has to have some pretty scrappy play if he's going to win this.
No burrow for jaedong, so it's hard to find where those big players are going to come from. These Banelings have got to be supremely careful. There's mines littered everywhere. 9 on the map right now. Pretty good Baneling connection, but Maru's pulling back into this funnel. A beautiful angle, but the mines don't quite.
Oh, nicely
wow.
done. Now the Lings will come in to complement the mutas, and Maru's beaten back again. Another attack over here on the far left, though. jaedong's supply is dropping.
But
oh
the right
my
base.
God, but that might not matter.
It looks like all the SCVs are going to tumble down. Maru's going to lose a command center. He's going to exchange it. 3 base versus 3 base. It's all about efficiency, and the biomine is one of the most efficient compositions in this game. jaedong knows he's got to pick off medevacs. He's got to pick up any little edge that he can. The SCVs are open. What an insane game 3, Nick.
Yeah, hitting these SCVs really hard here. A mule's now landing. Now it's 3 base to 3 base, but I think Maru might just barely have enough harass going on here that it's going to just halt the economy here of jaedong. There's a lot of drops going on everywhere. jaedong now expanding again to the close base of Maru. Really interesting.
A really wild surge of action. Yeah. jaedong managing to somehow find the supply lead.
He got the command center. Nicely done. Maru on 3 base for quite a while now.
But what do you do as jaedong right now? You've got to regroup. You have drones going every which way. That was an extremely chaotic mid-game. I mean, what a series of back and forth trades. jaedong needs to regroup. He needs to hold tight. Maru has a clear path to the 4th base. jaedong's desperately trying to add on more Banelings, but look at jaedong's gas hovering all the way up at 2K. Zerg players dream about that, man.
This is really nice here for jaedong because he has a sick tech transition that he can do at any point in time with that much gas banked up. Now we have jaedong coming down here. Now jaedong has to be very careful. Maru has been ahead in supply this entire game. It's just been jaedong doing a very good job shaving off little armies here or there. But there was this one moment, a few minutes ago, I should say, where Maru hit that a far left base, dropped into the main and to the second base, and that was where things really slowed down for Jaedong. Things have calmed down a bit, but it looks like Maru's now going to push out again, and it's going to be head-to-head here.
Oh, Jaedong has spotted the bottom expansion, but Jaedong has to deal with this push at the front. Banelings carefully stepping forward and back to make sure that they don't erupt too many mines. And Jaedong is dangerously low on units. He has almost no lings, 14. He has more Banelings than Zerglings at this point in time. And Maru has a perfect army. It's basically all Marines. 82 on the field.
It looks like he's going to move up now. The mutas are going to come around. Jaedong wants to do anything to delay his opponent. Things are slowly slipping out of control here for Jaedong. He's now going to engage. Whoa, no. Big risk there. And Banelings now coming down and connecting.
Oh, the mine answers in kind. GG.
GG. Maru still got a shot. It was a close game back there. He'll have to win the next two if he wants to move on here.
What a move by Maru, taking all that sick damage, doing so much to stay in that game despite everything Jaedong threw at him. That does mean that now Jaedong leads the series 2-1. It's not going to be a clean sweep.
Marcus, what are you guys thinking about over there?
Well, definitely thinking about the fact that we've got game 4 right around the corner. Jaedong with the lead currently 2-1, and we're going to make this quick. So we'll start with you, Apollo. What do you think? So far, Jaedong with the lead. Obviously, 2 very aggressive games. The macro game comes along. Maru seems to have a little bit of an edge.
Even though Jaedong's winning, I really think Maru was very surprised coming into this series of what to expect from Jaedong, whether it would be aggressive or normal play. And I think he got caught off guard a little bit in the first 2 games. But even though he got caught off guard in the first 2 games, he played very well in game number 3. But it's still very difficult to come back from a 2-0 deficit like that.
All right, over to this side. Todd, or In Control, your thoughts on the matchup so far?
I'm surprised Apollo does not speak nearly as much when we're on air.
She's feisty.
We were actually talking a lot about strategies and everything that was happening, and like there was a lot of good thoughts going around. But yeah, in that third game, I really feel like Maru finally played the game plan that he wanted to go for, and just was solid enough not to take damage or die to these all-ins that Jaedong have been throwing at him.
Yeah. Belcher Vest is also a really tough map for that parade push. I feel like we've seen this kind of classically a lot. I really like the third base placement of Maru. It allows him to rally to a central place that's both important economically, but also acts as a staging point for that aggression into what Jaedong wants to be his fourth. We saw him forced to go to the left side of the map, but that's just a very droppable spot when you got that rally going to the right side of the map. So really good.
All right, real quickly, next map is Frost. Yes,
yeah,
let's talk about that.
See that?
Well, we're on the same page, Apollo. Yeah.
A nice big map here. It's going to be very difficult to continue that same style that we saw on Belcher Vestige. Frost, it really depends on where they spawn as well, but this is a lot harder for Maru to play that same style.
All right, any final thoughts?
Jaedong still has a game to give, and the guy likes to go into his little cheesy basket. He might go in there again.
I want Sean to do a little prediction here of what we might see, because, like I said, you're talking a lot
Look at that look of pure hatred.
I want to put you on the spot. Come on.
Jaedong's going to win this next game. What more can I say?
By the Queen of England, I'll strike you down, friends.
Should it go to a split, 2-2, Yansu?
That's when Jaedong goes back to cheese. This next game, no.
Okay.
No, okay.
Listen to me, just watch.
Exerting that confidence, I like it, Apollo. Any last comments here? No? No,
nothing to say. Kevin, next time we come back to you, you should actually do some talking.
All right, we're just waiting for the players to get ready, so I'm going to force you guys then to answer some questions. SOS is sitting in the finals. He said that he wants to be fighting Jaedong. He's 1 game away from getting his wish. Just out of curiosity, play if this happens. Jaedong advances. Who do you think wins? SOS or Jaedong? We know your answer. Roddy, how about you?
I've been saying SOS all weekend long, so I think SOS
would stay with that.
But I think SOS, even though he said he would like to play Jaedong, I think against Maru he's going to have a better time, because I think Maru plays quite similar to what we just saw Bomber do. So SOS seems to be pretty damn good against that style. Against Jaedong it's going to be harder, and I'm very curious to see how good his PvZ is these days. But
then are you surprised that SOS said, yeah, I'd like to face?
No, I think it's just,
Jaedong.
you know, because Jaedong is the bigger name still.
Wants the harder challenge.
No, I think he probably believes it's an easier matchup for him. To be versus Jaedong rather than Maru. I mean, Maru is... he might not be the best turner versus Protoss, but he knows how to multitask, how to play very well in general. And I don't know, SOS probably has some confidence versus Zerg.
I agree, jaedong does not know how to play in general.
Protoss has been doing pretty well against Zerg these days, and then Sulky was like, no, Protoss is not, and then Dier was like, well, yes, Protoss is, and Paul owed him, so maybe SOS is quite confident in the matchup.
Well, can I say this too?
Sure.
The audience today has kicked some serious ass. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you. It is so cool when they call those players out, and it's actually rumbling, tasteless.